Hey everyone, welcome back to The Addicted Bookworm. Okay, I have an announcement to make, and if you've seen I know you've seen the title, I officially hit 12 books. Now, I said to myself, I'm going to read one book a month, and then I came to the conclusion that that's an impossibility. I cannot read one book a month. I have to read as many books as I can possibly stuff in a single month. And this is just reading as slow as I possibly can, which is beneficial. Thank you very much. Alright, so I'm going to start by saying, okay? I hit 12 books in going on 2 weeks, like a week and a half. Now, I will say this, okay? Some of the books I started last month, but they got into the count because I finished them this month. So, very happy about that. For people that are watching the video, they want to say, oh my god, how the heck do you read this many books, read 12 books in whatever number of time? You know, how do you do it? Because I make time. Because I'm not on my phone. Because I take reading very seriously. So, for people that want to know, do I have a job? I work at Burger King. It's like, it's like over there. I walk to work. I will arrive to work an hour before I'm supposed to be at work, and I will sit there and I will read my books, either on my Kobo. I'm still using my Kindle, folks, still using my Kindle, because I bought it, and I just don't put it away, because I got a fancy new device. By the way, I'm going to get the movie. I'm reading Misery by Stephen King. That book is good. Anyways, so that's how I do it. When I have a day off, I read. I spend the entire day just doing that one thing, reading. And I'm not on my phone. I'm not checking my emails. I'm not checking my notifications. I put my phone in my bedroom, and then in the living room is where my little butt is parked. And I know people that are highly addicted to their phones are like, oh my god, I can't possibly do that. I have to constantly see what's going on in the world, and I come to the conclusion there's nothing going on in the world that is worth sucking your brains in through to a screen. Sorry. Reading about stuff is not going to change their outcome. That is my personal belief. Also, I do not want to be having my blood pressure going through the roof. I had that happen one time, and I do not want to experience ever again. Anyways, so my advice to people that are using this year to get back into reading, and you watch this video and go, oh my god, I want to read as many books as that, then go ahead and do it. I'm not making this a race. Like, oh my god, I need to read 12 books in a week and a half. No, some of the books that I read, I started those last month, and as I said, it got into the count this month because I finished it this month. I do not like reading becoming a competition because take it back, somebody said reading is a competition. You're competing against Meta. You're competing against TikTok. You're competing against all these social media companies for your time. So when you go and pick up a book, either physical or an ebook, you are battling those companies for your time and your energy and your focus and your mental health and all that type of stuff. I told my brother, this is why I read books, because nothing on this screen nothing on the screen is worth my mental health. So that's why I do it. But I have now raised it up to 15 books. When I hit 15, I will jump it up to 20 books. And I will say, if I only read 20 books this year, that's fine. I am not going to be upset. If I only do 19 out of 20, I will be fine with it. I won't be upset. I just want to sit down when I get home from work and read a book. I don't want to be on my phone. I don't want to be talking to people. I'll sit down and read the book. Alright, so as I said, do not take this as, oh, I gotta read this many books this short. Don't. I was shocked that I hit 50. I was shocked I hit 12, and it's not even, it's like the middle part of the month. So yeah, so I did beat the tech companies in my own way. All right, so we're gonna go over the 12 books I read, and I'm gonna tell you about the 12 books that I read, and then I'm gonna tell you the best and the worst of those 12 books. So the first book is Fry Another Day by J.J. Cook. I gave this book a 1 star on Goodreads. This book was absolutely horrible. I did not like this book at all. And what it's about a guy who ends up dead. This is during a competition. And our protagonist, who I don't think is competent, manages somehow to solve the mystery. So, yeah, not exactly my favorite book. Then the one that I read to get rid of the bad memories of that book was Kiss the Girls by James Patterson. I gave that a 5 stars on Goodreads. James Patterson's novels are always a solid read for me. This is book 2 in the Alex Cross series. I do plan on, I don't care if I get the books off of Kindle, I don't care if I get the physical books off of Amazon or off of Barnes & Noble. I am going to be adding every single Alex Cross book to my collection. But these are going to be, I'm going to get the digital book, and then I'm going to order the physical copy of the book. But for people that want to know, Jack and Jill is going to be ordered through Barnes & Noble. I also own Along Came a Spider and Kiss the Girls. I do own those books. Anyways, so this is about these women are being kidnapped by a man who calls himself Casanova. He is in a partnership with a guy called himself the Gentleman Caller. Alex Cross soon discovers that these people aren't just working together; they're actually physically together around these girls. And there is a scene of rape in it. He basically wants to break them, and he doesn't really succeed with one of them. She actually escapes, and then of course he becomes very obsessed over trying to find her and to get rid of her once and for all. Absolutely loved that book, and it was a 5-star read for me. Alright, the next one was Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison. Rachel Harrison is one of my favorite authors. Such Sharp Teeth is about a woman who gets bitten by a werewolf, and she becomes one. And the main theme of this book is changes. I don't know if anybody got that when they read the book, but I got that when I read the book. I read it on my Kobo. Yeah, I read it on. I read it on my Kobo app, but I read that, but I also read it on this. But, anyways. So talking about changes, her sister is becoming a mother, so that is a change. Her mother is going into old age, which is also a change. She just turns into a werewolf once a month, which is change. It does go into some werewolf lore, like Silver Also, Monkshood, or known as Wolfsbane, if you're a Harry Potter fan or remember reading the Harry Potter books, Professor Snape mentioned it. Yeah, it was a really good book. I gave it 5 stars. And yeah. Then the next one was Cackle, also by Rachel Harrison. This has witches. This is about female power. Traditionally, women have been considered witches, especially by groups like the Inquisition and the Church. And this just really uses that trope of female witches and about magical power and about basically taking control of your own life. Highly enjoyed it. I gave it like 4 stars. All right. Then we have Dairy Dairy Quite Contrary by Amy Lillard. This is about a woman who moves back into this community. Her name is what was her name? I forgot her name. I forgot her last name. But her name is the same as the town. This is a Amish community, and we find that this gentleman ends up dead, and so it's Yoder. I remember Yoder. And she is determined to basically find out who killed this guy. I did enjoy this book. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. It was a good book. I got it because the second book, I actually own a physical edition of that book. I'm really considering getting a digital edition for my Kobo if it's on there. If not, I'll just go with Amazon because I do really want to read the second book as an ebook. Alright. Then we have The Red Letter by Daniel G. Miller. This is the second book in the Orphanage by the Lake series. I do believe he's publishing a third book. I do not know when it's going to come out. But The Red Letter basically is hints towards the words that were spoken by Christ. So if you know anything about the Bible, the New Testament, a lot of the words that are attributed to Christ is written in red. The Red Letter is about people that have committed some kind of sin in the eyes of this killer. And I will tell you, the killer was unexpected. I really was not expecting who the killer was. Absolutely a great book. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. You gotta pick up The Orphanage by the Lake and The Red Letter. I will die on that hill. It is a great book. I'm also going to be picking up a physical copy of that book. If Barnes & Noble doesn't have it, I will end up buying it off of Amazon. So, yeah. Then we have Awake by Natasha Preston. Awake deals with cults. It deals with this woman called Scarlet, who doesn't realize that she has been saved from a cult. She falls in love with this boy called Noah, who's weirdly enough, involved in the very same cult that her family tried to get away from. And they want her as a human sacrifice. And it takes place in England. And most of Natasha Preston's books does take place in England. And it was just a really good book. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. Then, In the Company of Witches, I actually posted a review of that book on Tome, I believe it was. Yeah, Tome. And somebody commented that the author no longer writes that series. The author has actually moved on to something else. And it kind of reminds me of something I'm not going to do, which is stop a series and never publish another book in the series. But yeah, In the Company of Witches is, I really did not quite understand the basis of that book, so I gave it like 2 stars on Goodreads. I couldn't even tell you what the plot's about even now. This is just how uninteresting it actually turned out to be. And it was written by Audrey Wallace. That was a library book that I borrowed. Alright, then I read my first graphic novel this year, and that was The Dresden Files Full Moon Volume 1 by Mark Powers. And I gave that one a 4-star. I did enjoy the book, the story, but the artwork I did not enjoy at all. That's why I gave it 4 stars. I do plan on to purchase it from the Kobo store because that is where I read it at. And then we have The Blade itself by Joe Abercrombie. This actually is a reread. I wanted to reread this book because I absolutely did not like I think last year I gave it like 2 stars because I really didn't like it. But then I decided to give it a second chance. I actually have a several parts video that I put on Canva, had it edited, all that jazz. And so basically it's about a man called Logan Ninefingers, and he is going to soon find himself in the middle of like powers, ancient magic, things like that. We also encounter Gothka, which is he's a High Inquisitor. Yes, the Inquisition does exactly what the Inquisition in the past was, rooting out treason and mostly treason. You have the Mercer Guild, the Guild of Mercers, who are also involved. And of course, we also have magic, and we have, different things. I really did enjoy this book. It was actually a lot better because I read it on my Kobo. It was actually a lot better than it had been the first time. So I actually have the second book in the series on Kobo, but I'm not going to start reading it until I have 4 books on my Kobo read, and then I will read it. Sorry, I'm obsessed over my hair. Alright, then Can't Judge, a book by Murder by Amy Lillard. So that was a 4-star read for me. I did enjoy it. I'm going to do a full review of that book and Custard in a Crisis, a cozy dog mystery by Emmy Lynn. That was a 4-star read. All right, so what books what was the best book? What was the worst book? Okay, so I'm not going to include all these books because, so Friday Another Day was definitely one of the worst. And so was, hold on a second. So was In the Company of Witches. I honestly, absolutely did not like those books. The best books that I read for this month was The Blade itself. Can't Judge a Book by Its Murder. The Red Letter. Cackle, Such Sharp Teeth, Definitely Kiss the Girls. So I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 books out of the 12 that I do consider to be good, to be either really good or good. So especially books like anything from James Patterson is automatically going to be my favorite. I have not yet encountered a bad James Patterson book. Anyways, So, overall, I really had a lot of fun reading these 20 books, even the ones that I did not like. And at the end of the day, that is the best part of reading, is sitting down and reading a book that will get you away from the world and put you in another world where, yeah, if it gets a little too scary or weird, you can just close the book and, and wait until later on to read it. Alright, so as I said, I pulled it up to 15. And when I get to 15, I will do the review of those 3 books. Anyways, I will see you guys next time, and until then, keep reading your books. Bye.